Hey, it's Edge here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Ethereum. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Waves theory and provide multiple scenarios the price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting here on 4-hour time frame this time and looking at the count starting from up here of the 2k highs. Since then we had this idea as the main idea, having this as an ABC coming down. Now I've drawn this channel that you can draw as well. It is pivoted again from the start to the end of wave B and back to the wave A to establish this channel. And traditionally or generally, it is very good to look for the 1-to-1 in time and 1-to-1 in price. So again, this would be right here where we have this structure here ending. So that is definitely one of the targets. Now here on 4-hour time frame, we can see that a low was put in place, giving us indication that, okay, that could be a third of something. Now, the previous counts that I've shown you does not really fit into that idea. Because again, if we are looking at these, we would be saying that we had a 1, 2, 1, 2. This is again more related to this count, or the idea where we would have this as a wave 1, wave 2, and then we would have another 1, 2, 1, 2, and then starting to unravel downwards. I'm not that bearish as of yet, as we did create this new lower low here on RSI as well. I'm still looking for us to create a low here of some sort and starting to get those divergences in play. But again, this count does not expect those. This count would expect us to just drop down very heavily. But yeah, it is not my primary at the moment. Then we had the other idea in which we would have this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into the third, fourth, and fifth. So at least 2 more lows. This is very possible here, but I don't like this because again, this high on RSI is taking out this high. Generally, that is an indication that, okay, whatever started back on these highs has been finished already before getting in here. So this structure, whatever it was, and this is basically retracing that move. So that's why I don't really like this count at the moment. Now, I think we talked about this count before. I didn't have it as an option here, but I think I mentioned it somewhere, somehow. Maybe it was on Discord, or maybe on the videos, I'm not quite sure. But the idea was that we had a 1, 2, 1, 2 set up at the very start. And the reason why I did not really like this before was the fact that we'd had this this another wave 1 here, significantly larger than the larger degree structure. So it doesn't really make too much sense. But again, none of the other options feel too good either. So I feel like we need to be looking into the other less probable scenarios at the moment that could explain this low here on RSI. Now in this case, again, we would be looking for a third, fourth, and fifth on smaller time frames. If we are looking at 15-minute time frame, we can see that we had a third of third in here. So that would create a divergence between these lows, and then looking for this RSI low to hold and giving us divergence against this fifth as well from here. So that would somewhat make sense, having the third of third and the third of fifth giving that divergence against each other. And then we would be expecting that wave 4 to pop up at some point. We don't need to be getting up this high, but if we are getting this high and taking out the price of around $1,475, give or take a few, then I would no longer be looking into this count as that main idea, because generally, if a higher time frame structure takes out the previous wave 4s, then it is not longer that probable, in my opinion, and that can be seen probably in here as well on these retracements. Yeah, so 38.2 again, the most common retracement for wave 4s, around 14.63 at the moment, and that would be the expected area to pivot from. We definitely have some kind of order block there. I'm not sure if it's a 4-hour order block. Yeah, I guess we could have it as a 4-hour somewhere here, right on that 38.2. where we could be finding that support. On higher time frame as well, on 1 hour, we could be looking at some kind of structure like this if we are just going to be pivoting higher. But there's no really indication of that as of yet here. We are still very high on RSI on this hourly time frame, and not really doing much here on 15-minute either. So yeah. Is there a possibility to go long here? Yeah, there is. If we are looking at the very local structure here, if we are zooming in, let's go to 2-minute. I had this previously labeled as A, B, and C with a contracting diagonal here. But again, this structure here definitely feels like a 5-way structure. If we are going to 1 minute, I think we had a divergence here. Actually, we did not. Okay, that might not be the 3rd or 5-way structure then. Maybe this is just a ABC here. Okay, yeah, it would fit the minimum extension, so we could be labeling this as a ABC here instead, and that would end the wave Y. And that would be just the wave or first structure that would be part of this wave 4. I don't think this is enough for wave 4. It would be very short in time if we are comparing to the previous lower degree structure here. We can see that we don't even get to the 1-to-1. 1-to-1 would be here next morning basically. So I think this is just the start of this a bit more complex structure that we would be getting something like this. But of course that is not a something that we can rely on as of yet. Let's take a look at these structures in here. We can see that golden pocket is actually right around these previous lows that we had around 1330 area at the moment. Let's take a look at if we have something else there as well. Not really. We have a daily there and on 0.5 retracement of this whole move, and that could be somewhat significant. So maybe looking for a long setups there. But I've had structure or issues with this current structure that we are having. I'm not quite sure. Should we label this as a 5-way structure here or not? Since on lower time frame we did not reach, or we did not even get a divergence between these two lows, so I'm not quite sure how to label this. At the moment I would just sit out on Ethereum, most likely not taking setups based on the structure itself. Maybe if you want to be trading, maybe it should be just looking at these higher time frame structures instead of the lower ones to validate them basically. But yeah, that's of course your choice. But yeah, these are the probable areas that I would be looking for another short setup here. The daily naked point control, and we had this order block here as well. So yeah, those were the ideal areas to look for short setups. But I think that's enough for now on Ethereum. If you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.